Hey guys, welcome to Talk with Ziggy, and I'm Ziggy. So, this is my first YouTube video. I'm a former college academic advisor, a former psychiatrist, and I would say a current busybody. And one of my passions in life is students, and so I wanted to create this YouTube channel to foster all types of discussions among all types of students. And if you're looking for special effects, um, reactions, slick editing, this is definitely not the YouTube channel for you. And just so you know, I'm going to be referencing my iPad often because that's where I keep a lot of my notes. Um, the thing I want to talk about today is parental pressure. This is a very common issue among high school and college students these days, and this is something that I experienced as a high school student too. I had the kind of parents where an A minus was considered a not great grade, and I also ended up becoming a physician because of parental expectations. So this is an area that I can really relate to. But the point of the video, however, isn't to demonize parents. It's really to understand the issue from a lot of different perspectives and to get your comments and thoughts and questions. So I want to start off by reading this paragraph from an article entitled "The Overpressured Student" by Richard Weisberg. And I quote, "In a study that my research team conducted at an independent school, more than one-third of the 40 juniors surveyed identified, quote, getting into a good college as more important than being a good person. And nearly one half of students said that it was more important that to their parents, that they got into a good college than that they be good people. When I shared these data with the school, a few teachers protested vehemently. They thought the numbers were far too low." So, what are your thoughts about this? Do you agree that the numbers are too low? I just thought it was such a strange question to even ask. I'm not saying it's wrong, it was just strange to compare good college versus being a good person as if those two were mutually exclusive. I would have never thought to ask it. And also, I was curious, how was a good person defined and how was good college defined? I mean, it was probably in the article, and I didn't read the whole thing, but I would be curious to know what the criteria for both of those things were. But for the sake of the study, I would be curious to hear from you guys which one you would pick if you had to pick between being a good person and going to a good college. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that as a psychiatrist, I can't help but wonder, beyond the conventional "I want my kids to succeed" reason, why else do parents push their kids so hard? Um, what are your thoughts about this? Was it that they were raised in some way and they don't know any other way to raise their kids? Is it because they want to live vicariously through their children? Or is it for appearances? I mean, obviously, it depends on the parents and the kids and the family situation, but I'd really be curious about that. And then the other thing I'm curious about is, does this parental pressure apply only when it comes to education, or does it apply to all facets of the children's lives? Um, for some reason, I think of drivers. I know some people who are the nicest people in the world, and then when they get behind a wheel, they become totally different people, just very impatient, very aggressive. And then as soon as they step out of the car, they're really nice people again. So I sort of feel like that could be the same thing with parents and education. And then to play devil's advocate, are there situations where such parental pressure is warranted. Um, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is when parents are spending a lot of money on tuition for private school or college, and the kid's not doing their best. Being lazy shouldn't cost money. So I think that could be one situation where parental pressure is warranted. Um, and then you have to think about the consequences of parental pressure. Um, more specifically, how is the child affected, of course, and how are the goals that the child has in life affected, basically. And then beyond that, how is the relationship between the child and the parent affected? I would be really curious to hear from those of you experiencing it, the answer to some of these questions. And then finally, I would argue that this pervasive parental pressure is indicative of a much larger issue, which is our colleges, particularly top ones, evaluating their applicants in the right way. What does it mean when the norm for being considered a competitive applicant is, taking a million AP courses, a million AP tests, doing a million extracurriculars, having a perfect GPA, having perfect standardized test scores? At that point, what is being evaluated exactly? I'm not saying this is the wrong way, but I am curious to hear your thoughts on what you think the pros and the cons of this approach are, and what your suggestions are for a better evaluation process. What are better ways to assess candidates, the large number of really qualified candidates, for the small number of spots at certain colleges? So I would say I would love to hear from you guys. For those of you who are or have experienced, parental pressure, I want to hear your stories and your thoughts to some of the questions and issues I raised in this video. And even if you haven't experienced parental pressure, it would be great to hear your comments. So that's really it for this video. I hope it's short and to the point, and I hope it stimulates a lot of discussion and feedback and comments, in the comment section below. Please share your comments and questions. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel and invite others, because word of mouth is the strongest or the most powerful marketing tool, I would say. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.